Greetings, friends. Glad to see you on our channel. Today, I've prepared the latest news from the gaming world for you, and I'm sure you'll find something new and interesting for yourself as always. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel as it will help the development of content, and don't forget to write your opinion in the comments. I wish you all a good viewing, and let's get started! Democracy is about to get some reinforcements in Helldivers 2, as developer Arrowhead has increased the game's server cap to allow for up to 700,000 concurrent users. At the same time, the studio has cautioned players not to get too excited, as due to the popularity of the game, it's expecting to see a flood of players online this weekend. We have updated the max CCU cap to 700,000. Arrowhead CEO and game director Johan Pilestedt wrote in a series of posts on X Twitter. Unfortunately, we expect the CCU to reach that level. We believe that the wait times will be much more bearable. Another tweet said, "We might still hit the limit in the future, but for now, we are above what we have been able to support. We are actively monitoring the situation." Shortly after launch, Helldivers 2 increased its server capacity from 250,000 concurrent players to 360,000, and then recently to 450,000. Player demand rose and long waiting times have been the norm. But as Pilestedt explained, that isn't simple to resolve. "It's not a matter of money or buying more servers," Pilestedt posted online in response to a player query. "It's a matter of labor. We need to optimize the back-end code. We are hitting some real limits." A new patch has also gone live for the game, adding several helpful fixes. The biggest tweak is aimed at Liberty's loiterers, as the game will now kick away from keyboard players out to the title screen if they're idle for 15 minutes. Other tweaks include fixes for several crash-causing issues in the game and players getting stuck in the defrosting or ship intro animations. Helldivers 2 is also available on PS5, but some players really want to see it ported to Xbox as well. Meanwhile, for those people waiting to join a squad, now's a good time to rewatch Starship Troopers, as the film is seeing a surge in interest lately. Mortal Kombat, One Peacemaker, gameplay trailer shows, Cena. Unlocking peace after being teased by series head Ed Boon. Earlier this month, NetherRealm Studios and Warner Bros. Games have released a new Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay trailer featuring the next downloadable fighter, DC Comics' Peacemaker, with John Cena reprising the role via both voice acting and likeness. The trailer showed many of Peacemaker's moves in action, along with a few choice insults hurled toward his opponents. As with other gameplay reveal trailers in MK1's past, this showcase ended with one of Peacemaker's grisly fatalities, and this one uses his jetpack and sonic boom ability for some high-speed slaying. The DC Comics villain retains his look and attitude from the Suicide Squad film and subsequent Peacemaker series on Max. Cena is the second actor to reprise a role in Mortal Kombat 1, as J.K. Simmons once again lent his voice to Omni-Man from Invincible when he joined the game last year. Peacemaker is the third character to join the Mortal Kombat 1 roster from the MK1 Combat Pass, and the second character to arrive from outside the MK canon. The aforementioned Omni-Man kicked off the Combat Pass content back in November, with Quan Chi following him in December. With Peacemaker's release, only 3 more characters remain in Combat Pass 1, Ermac, Takeda, and a third guest character in Homelander from The Boys. The pass also contains multiple cameo assist characters. Tremor and Chameleon have already released, and Farah, Movado, and Janet Cage, a gender-flipped version of Johnny Cage, are still to come. Janet makes a few appearances in this trailer as well, as she helps Peacemaker with some flashy team combos. Mortal Kombat 1 is available now on Xbox Series X Vertical Bar S, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Peacemaker joins the playable roster on March 6th, with early access for those who purchased any of the game's premium editions beginning February 28th. The Combat Pass is available separately for $39.99, while each character can be purchased separately for $8. LEGO Fortnite update adds fishing and a much-needed tool. The latest LEGO Fortnite update adds fishing to the survival crafting game, alongside some quality-of-life additions, like a compass. New update V28, 30 titled GoneFishin, adds fish, 4 different tiers of fishing rods, and new seafood recipes. The GoneFishin update adds a new tool, the fishing rod. It comes in 4 tiers, common, uncommon, rare, and epic. You can unlock these new recipes by having a cord, knot root rod, flexwood rod, and frost pine rod in your inventory, respectively. You will also need to have the appropriate level of crafting bench. The new food processor station will turn fish into fish fillets. Other fish-related recipes are available at some of the cooking stations already in the game, like smoked fry fish, which can be made with a grill. Fish can also be used to make a bait bucket, which creates a fishing spot when you throw it into water. The bait bucket also comes in the 4 different rarity tiers. Lastly, the new update adds a couple of items that provide some quality-of-life improvements. First is the compass, which adds a compass to the HUD in-game, showing you which direction you are moving. The advanced compass adds markers to the new HUD. There is also now a spyglass, which lets you check out faraway spots in the environment. Both of these can be crafted with the new glass resource, made from sand, which was also added in this update. After a long wait, we finally have details about Elden Ring's upcoming DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer From Software released the add-on's first official trailer this morning, which revealed it is launching June 21st. Bandai Namco is also releasing a physical version of the game, the Elden Ring. Shadow of the Erdtree Collector's Edition, which includes a statue and other goodies. The trailer begins by focusing on a setting where an optional boss appeared in the main game and where you can find Miquella's egg. The trailer shows new monsters and bosses, like a lion creature with a rotating head and another made entirely of flames. There are also new abilities, items, and weapons, one of which appears to be a roaring bear's head. There is also some kind of porcupine alligator creature, and the player character sprouted angel wings in one fight. Those are just a few of the standout reveals. The game's official product page does confirm a few additional details, like the name of the main boss seems to be Mesmer the Impaler. Shadow of the Erdtree is also not standalone, despite carrying a $39.99 price tag. The page refers to it as an expansion, and it will require the base game. Here's the official description. The Shadow of the Erdtree expansion features an all-new story set in the Land of Shadow, imbued with mystery, perilous dungeons, and new enemies, weapons, and equipment. Discover uncharted territories, face formidable adversaries, and revel in the satisfying triumph of victory. Dive into the riveting interplay of characters, where drama and intrigue intertwine that create an immersive experience to savor and enjoy. Microsoft made a gamble with this console generation by releasing 2 versions of its console, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. The Xbox Series X is a powerful $500 machine that promises top-tier performance from modern games, whereas the Series S is significantly weaker, but comes with a $300 price point and can still play any game that's playable on the Series X. The Series X and S are available now, but some may want to hold off until later this year. According to Exputer, Microsoft is making a digital-only Xbox Series X console that is aiming for release at some point in June or July. The report speculates that this all-digital, all-white Xbox Series X console will be $50 $100 cheaper than the Series X, $400 $450 range, and will come with 1 terabyte of storage. Exputer's report claims that this new Xbox console will include an improved heatsink and upgraded Nexus card. If this console exists and is releasing this summer as Exputer's sources have indicated, then one has to imagine that the reveal will be happening sooner rather than later. Alternatively, it's possible Microsoft will wait to reveal the new all-digital Xbox Series X console until its big June showcase. It was recently confirmed that Xbox will be hosting a June showcase as it traditionally does, and it's entirely within the realm of possibility that such a showcase will include hardware announcements. After all, Microsoft has teased that it has big plans for hardware this year. In the Xbox Business Update event, which aimed to address the rumors about the company's multi-platform plans. It was teased that Xbox has an exciting new hardware release dropping this holiday season. If the leaked all-white Xbox Series X console is coming out in the summer, as Exputer's report suggests, then the new hardware dropping this holiday must be something different. There are also rumors of an Xbox handheld being developed, not to mention court documents pointing to the existence of a DualSense-style controller. With all these rumors making the rounds, it's best fans wait for official word from Microsoft before getting too excited. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, and Warzone are experiencing major technical issues that surfaced in the early morning hours of February 23rd, leading multiple fan-favorite modes to be temporarily taken offline. The unfortunate news follows Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3's recent Season 1 Reloaded update, which also introduced major problems. In January, Call of Duty released a major update that introduced game-breaking bugs for many users. In both Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer and Warzone, users struggled to progress past the game's glitchy menu screens, and once they did, bizarre in-game bugs awaited them. Thankfully, most of the update's more frustrating issues were fixed within a day or two, and users are probably hoping for a similar timeline with Call of Duty's newest problems. The official Code Updates Twitter account confirmed that major problems, which are affecting players' progression in events, challenges, the Battle Pass, and ranked play, arose overnight between February 22nd and February 23rd. These issues are affecting Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, and some Modern Warfare 2 players, and the Twitter account confirmed that developers are hard at work on delivering solutions. Currently, Modern Warfare 3's ranked play and zombies are offline, as well as Warzone's ranked resurgence. Call of Duty's development team has not offered a precise timeline for when fans can expect a return to normalcy, but it's likely that these issues will be fixed within the day. However, this is only speculation, and it's certainly possible that the issues could prove to be more severe than expected. Some users are reporting that Call of Duty's skill-based matchmaking system seems to have been disabled as part of the recent issues. Due to this, fans can currently play Call of Duty without being matched against players similar to their own level, much to the delight of higher-skilled players and likely to the frustration of lower-skilled players. As another prevalent issue, Call of Duty recently updated fans on the status of its Ricochet anti-cheat system. It explained that a recent improvement was made to the anti-cheat and that more upgrades are on the way. The prevalence of cheating, namely within Warzone and Modern Warfare 3's ranked play, has been on the rise recently, leading to a building outcry from the Call of Duty community. Recently, Call of Duty also announced Warzone's playlists for next week, with a brief explanation as to how it chooses the rotating game modes. In Bungie's weekly Destiny 2 blog update, the developer revealed that the Prophecy Dungeon is seeing weapons added and removed from the loot pool alongside a brand new origin trait called Crossing Over. Since returning from holiday break, Bungie has typically used its weekly blog posts to outline major changes it has planned for Destiny 2 in the months before the final shape launches. March is going to be a particularly big month for fans as Bungie prepares a big mid-season update full of sandbox changes, buffs, nerfs, as well as offering Destiny 2 players a free weekly gift of Bright Dust. Recently, the Destiny 2 blog posts have centered on sandbox-related changes, including what the PvP Strike team is working on. Recently, Bungie confirmed a number of Crucible pain points it would be addressing, including adjusting player health, changing how special ammo is acquired, as well as adjusting ability cooldowns and damage. Following an even lengthier weekly blog post centered on PvP, Bungie also confirmed changes coming to one of the many dungeons available inside the game. In its latest blog post, Bungie gave an update on a refresh for Destiny 2's Prophecy Dungeon activity. Starting in Update 7, 3.5, a new origin trait is being added to all weapons that drop inside of Prophecy. Known as Crossing Over, this trait gives Prophecy weapons increased range and handling for the first half of the magazine, while the bottom part will instead deal increased damage. Typically, mid-season updates are fairly substantial, but what Bungie has revealed so far seems like it could change the meta and familiar gameplay elements in a substantial way. In addition to the lengthy list of Crucible changes, Bungie previously revealed upcoming balance changes to various weapon types, exotics, as well as tweaks to Destiny 2's abilities, including Strand and Solar. While discussing Elden Ring and upcoming DLC, director Hidetaka Miyazaki reveals that there are currently no plans for an Elden Ring 2. According to Elden Ring director Hidetaka Miyazaki, developer From Software is not planning a sequel at this time. The latest fantasy action game from the team that brought fans Bloodborne and the Dark Souls series was released in 2022 and became an instant hit. Elden Ring lived up to its predecessors in terms of its gameplay, its dark and mysterious story, and the level of difficulty that has become a signature of From Software and Miyazaki. Now, 2 years after its launch, Elden Ring is finally getting an expansion DLC. A new trailer for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, was recently released, revealing a launch date, new enemies, and other hints about what players can expect to encounter. In addition to this trailer, Miyazaki has been personally speaking to gaming journalists lately, talking about the upcoming expansion and his team's approach to designing it. Further, during a recent interview, he also dropped some information about the possibility of future trips to the lands between. In an interview with IGN, Miyazaki explained that there are currently no plans at From Software to develop a sequel to Elden Ring. He didn't foreclose the idea of an Elden Ring 2 entirely, saying that, "We don't want to say this is the end of the Elden Ring saga for now." He stated, however, that "We don't have any current plans to make a second DLC or a sequel." Instead, Miyazaki explained, the team is leaving the possibility of a sequel open if a good idea presents itself, while not actively working on it. This news is likely to disappoint fans who were hoping for another entry in the near future. While he concluded his comments with the statement that there could well be something in the future, he made clear that it won't be happening anytime soon. For now, players will have to check out some other great games for Elden Ring fans and commit to getting the most out of Shadow of the Erdtree when it comes out in June. While Miyazaki is clearly attempting to temper fans' expectations, those hoping for a sequel likely don't need to despair entirely. He was clear that more content could be created if the right idea presented itself. Further, the fact that From Software now owns the Elden Ring IP, having acquired the complete rights from publisher Bandai Namco recently, would seem to indicate that company leadership would like to have the option to add to the franchise in the future. If nothing else, owning the IP means that the developer has a greater financial incentive to release a sequel down the road. Industry observers have argued that Elden Ring 2 could be bigger and better than the original, even if it doesn't need to be to see success. Surely plenty of fans are dying to see it live up to these expectations. Miyazaki's statement may dampen these hopes to some degree, but given the larger context, gamers should not abandon hope entirely just yet. The recent release of Ubisoft's online seafaring Skull and Bones game may be giving its decade-old Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, a shot in the arm. Ubisoft's 10-year-old Assassin's Creed 4. Black Flag has been enjoying a boost in player count as its spiritual successor, Skull and Bones, has finally been released after years of delays. Having been revealed all the way back in 2017, Skull and Bones takes the lauded naval combat introduced by Assassin's Creed 4 and expands upon it as an ongoing live service experience, letting players partake in online ship battles in a shared open world. One of the more widely beloved titles of Ubisoft's iconic historical stealth franchise, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, is remembered as one of the best in the series. Just last year, rumors began swirling about a full-blown remake of Assassin's Creed 4, causing a stir of excitement and speculation around the fanbase. Just a few days after the launch of Ubisoft's Skull and Bones, Xbox achievement site True Achievements has noticed that more and more players are flocking to Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Ever since Skull and Bones had its first beta weekend on February 8th, Black Flag has been seeing a growing number of players. This continued through Skull and Bones' early access launch, and finally, its full launch on February 16th. According to True Achievements, Black Flag has experienced an impressive 31% jump in Xbox players over this 2-week period. It's difficult to say exactly why Assassin's Creed 4. Black Flag is seeing such a big boost. Skull and Bones seems to have had a lukewarm reception, with many feeling like the service title isn't quite living up to Black Flag. Instead, many players may be choosing to revisit the decade-old title again for its exceptional naval combat, as well as its on-foot action-adventure gameplay, which Skull and Bones disappointingly lacks. Additionally, True Achievements made mention of a recent sale Black Flag was a part of last month, where the classic Assassin's Creed title was available for only $8.99. It's important to note that True Achievements only accounts for Xbox gamers, and it's possible Black Flag's surge could be even larger across. Developer Team Ninja has released a new behind-the-scenes video for the upcoming PlayStation 5 exclusive, Rise of the Ronin, and it features new gameplay, showing off the game's tough and fast action combat. Unsurprisingly, the game continues to look great. This new look at the game's action features conversation from game producer and director Fumihiko Yasuda and animation lead Kosuke Wakamatsu discussing how Team Ninja approached the combat. They say it started with determining the different ideologies within Ronin history, why certain individuals fought the way they did, and how that translates to a game aiming to be authentic to the Bakumatsu history. Yasuda and Wakamatsu discuss the Bakumutsu period of Japan's history, and how the introduction of Western weapons, like firearms, dramatically changed the way Ronin went about battle. Instead of just katanas and up-close weaponry, firearms forced warriors to adapt to new types of ranged combat. This led to the use of firearms like pistols alongside swords, bayonets, and more. If the use of guns has you worried, Sony is likely to release a PlayStation 5 Pro later in 2024, analysts have told CNBC. This souped-up refresh would be designed to boost interest in PS5 after Sony admitted it expected the console's sales pace of the console to start falling from the next fiscal year, which begins April 2024. It would also launch ahead of the release of Grand Theft Auto 6 in 2025, which is expected to significantly boost console game sales. Sony has yet to comment. Sony has form when it comes to releasing a Pro version of its consoles. The PS4 Pro, for example, launched in November 2016, 3 years after the PS4 came out. If a PS5 Pro does launch later this year, it would come 4 years after the PS5 launched in November 2020. There seems to be a broad consensus in the game industry that Sony is indeed preparing a launch of a PS5 Pro in the second half of 2024. Serkan Toto, CEO of Tokyo-based games consultancy Kantan Games, told CNBC. And Sony will want to make sure to have a great piece of hardware ready when GTA 6 hits in 2025, a launch that will be a shot in the arm for the entire gaming industry. Another analyst suggested Sony will not cut the price of the current PS5 even when the PS5 Pro comes out, due to pressures on the company's margins. Last week, Sony boss Hiroki Totoki offered what he called his frank impressions of the PlayStation business, suggesting its studios can do more to cut development costs. Totoki also said Sony would try to improve PlayStation game margins by leaning further on non-PlayStation platforms, such as PC. Sony has revised its PS5 sales forecast for the current financial year, down from its lofty target of 25 million consoles sold to 21 million. This despite a year-on-year increase in PS5 sales for the holiday 2023 quarter, from 7.1 million sold to 8.2 million. Elsewhere, Sony has said it will not release any major existing PlayStation franchise games before April 2025, ruling out big sequels in the God of War and Spider-Man franchises anytime soon. Well, that's all for now. I hope you learned a lot of new and interesting things. If so, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and write your opinion in the comments. I'll be happy to read it. Thank you all for watching and see you soon.